So before we begin, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be made aware every time we put out a new video. And remember to check us out on Instagram, and now you can also find us on Facebook for exclusive content. Let's get to it. Hey, thanks everybody. We're going to do another staff edition. Gabby wasn't able to join us today, but Ryan is joining us from Florida. Ryan, say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
And also, my lovely wife, Carla, is joining us. Say hi, Carla.
Hi, everybody.
And so we are going to be going over the top 5 attractions, our favorite attractions at Islands of Adventure. We've done this for City Walk. We did our top 5 dining experiences with each one of us. Mm-hmm. And we've also done it with our top 5 attractions at Universal Studios. And now we're going to be looking at our top 5 attractions at Islands of Adventure. So, Carla, we'll turn it over to you. The cake is yours, so start us off. What's number 5 for you?
Great Scott, number 5.
Okay, please do not make fun of me.
Oh,
that's,
no.
That's
that means that we're going to make fun.
We promise nothing.
I am prefacing this one with do not even think of making fun of me. Number 5 for me is High in the Sky. Seuss Trolley ride.
What?
I wouldn't make fun of that. It didn't make my list. It almost did. I love that attraction.
I so love going on that. It is so much fun. I mean, yeah, the queue is kind of lame. Don't you shake your head at me.
You can't see, but
don't you
Ryan is
shake
just
your head
totally
at me?
shaking his head. I guess you could see. I don't know.
Oh, my word. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, the queue is boring. All right, I will give you that. But it is so cool. I think that you get such really great views of the park, you know, and you're just kind of like chilling out up there. And it's I don't know. I enjoy it. It's very relaxing to me.
It reminds me, it's not on my list, but it almost made the list. It was edged out for honorable mention.
I know what you're going to say.
I know you know what I'm going to say. It's Universal's answer to the People Mover.
Now approaching.
Tomorrowland Center. And I love the People Mover.
I love that.
It's my favorite
too.
thing in all of Disney.
Yep.
I've said this, I could get on the People Mover, bring me a sack lunch, and just do that all day.
Right?
And just ride around and look. I love the People Mover.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's in all of Disney. I'd rather do that than anything. It's just great.
Yeah, I love it.
This is on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
Their version. I wish they'd take this all around the park. I wish they'd create a new one
so
that went
cool.
all through Islands of Adventure. I think that'd be amazing. So I don't have a problem with that. I wouldn't make fun of you. I mean, I'd make fun of you, but not for that.
No.
So.
Listen, pal, that you just opened the door, so just buckle up because I'm not afraid to walk through. And my son, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan.
Okay.
I get it. That's fine. I think the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley is worthy of a top 5. I truly do.
I love it.
I think you're going to see in the comments a lot of people agree with that. That's a pretty popular ride. It's usually got a good weight to it. Ryan doesn't agree, but he doesn't know. All right.
Number 4. Boop, boop, doo, boop.
Number 4 for you, Carla.
Number 4 for me is the Hulk. I love the Hulk. I just, you know what, when they rethemed the queue, you know, I thought they did a really nice job on it. Before it was a little bit bland and kind of whatever, but they've done a better job on that. And the launch is probably my favorite part of that entire thing. I love just, you know, feeling like I'm being shot out of a cannon. It's
amazing.
It's fantastic. It is fantastic. I will agree with both of you regarding the new track being bumpier than the other one. I do feel like I'm jostled around a bit, but nothing like, okay, if I compare it to, say, Rip Ride Rocket.
Yeah.
No. There I feel like I'm being like beaten up, but here it's just a little bit of jostling around, and it's worth it. It really is truly worth it. But
I agree.
that's my number 4.
Yeah, and the launch is what makes that coaster.
It
to me.
does.
As soon as you're launched out, you're like, okay, buckle up, because it's like game on.
And it's the anticipation of it, you know, because you're like, okay, it's gonna happen, it's gonna go, we're gonna go, and then woo, off we go.
All right, very
Something
good.
that I think is kind of underrated about the Hulk is that you can actually opt to sit in the front row.
Right.
If
Yes.
you want to sit in the front row, they can put you off in the own separate line for it. No other roller coaster has that
Yep.
in either of the parks, and I appreciate that a lot because there are plenty of times that I go and I really want to sit in the front row, and it's nice not to be holding up the entire line behind me
Right.
or
And-
giving the workers a hard time. So it's cool that they do that. I like that.
And that queue is not bad. They revamped the queue when
Yeah.
they redid the ride. At the end of it, when the kid's listening to his iPod or whatever, and he turns into the Hulk, it's kind of dumb to me. But the queue's not bad, all
No.
things considered.
It's better than it was.
It is better than it was. And I agree with you, Ryan. That is a different experience riding that in the front row versus anywhere else. So is Hagrid for that. And we've done both.
Oh, Hagrid
So
front
that's a
row is
completely
awesome.
different experience, riding in the front versus. So it's nice to have that as an option. Very good. All right, so that's number 4 for you.
Tree and a half. Wait, tree or tree and a half?
Remind me. Number 5 was High in the Sky,
Yep, High in the Sky,
and then the Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk.
All right, so what's number 3?
Number 3 is Spider-Man.
Okay.
Love Spider-Man. Love the queue. I just love looking at that donut sitting on the desk and the telephones. I'm like,
Yeah, in the queue. Yeah, in
dude,
the
that
newsroom.
queue is so cool in the newsroom. It's amazing. But then the ride itself is
Fun.
just fantastic. It is really fantastic. The one who is the one who does the exploding pumpkin?
The Hobgoblin.
The Hobgoblin. Okay, so the fire in that always used to freak me out because I don't like the fire. However, I've gotten accustomed to it, and now when it doesn't work, I'm kind of like, oh, there's no fire.
Yeah.
Great.
It hasn't been working for a long time.
Oh,
There's
okay.
something's been going on with it. I don't know if they fixed it because last time we went, we only went on Velocicoaster. We didn't do anything else. But the last bunch of times that me and Gabby were there, the no fire was coming out of the Spider-Man ride, which I thought was strange.
And for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, there's a scene that ride is 3D screens as well as real, kind of like Forbidden Journey.
Yeah.
And so there's a scene where the Hobgoblin throws a pumpkin bomb on the screen, and then as you're driving the you're still going backwards, and you see it explode in real life there. It is a neat element. I love that ride. It's high on my list. And for many of the reasons that you guys have, the queue is amazing. The color scheme, it's not like just a regular queue with regular colors.
No.
It's like it's kind of more like comic book colors. It's
Yeah.
really kind of neat.
Yeah, it truly is. And, the part where we are just kind of dangling from the Empire State Building.
Yeah, it feels like
and
it.
you really feel like you are taking a serious
Yeah.
dive. You're going to just land on the pavement. I'm going to be one with the pavement. But no, it is just so awesome. And
Right.
it's just a fun ride.
It really is.
It's a lot of fun.
Totally agree with you.
Well, here's number 2.
All right, so High in the Sky, the Hulk, Spider-Man. What's number 2?
Number 2 for me is Hagrid.
Wow.
I love Hagrid. I absolutely love the ride. The ride itself is amazing. I love either side. I actually prefer the sidecar over the motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I feel maybe. No, I'm not. I'm not opening that door.
Is it because you're short?
Yeah, you're right. I said I wasn't going to open that door, and you opened it for me.
Well.
Okay, so it could be because I'm a little vertically challenged, and I prefer, a little more enclosed space. But I really enjoy that. Yeah,
Ryan goes like this. It was pretty funny.
whatever. Stop it. The drop. Well, yeah, the drop
Yeah,
when
when you
we
go up
have.
and then backwards.
That's fantastic.
Oh, you're talking about the drop in the.
But
yeah.
I'm talking about when we're in the devil's snare,
Yeah.
and then we just boom, go dropping down through it. Oh
Amazing.
my gosh, that
Which
is
when
incredible.
you're as short as she is, feels like about 200 feet because just
Wow.
You're
Just
so
wow.
funny. You may be 3,000 miles away from me right now, but we'll see each other soon, and the piper will be paid, pal.
I can edit this. I won't, but I could. I could.
You're so mean, so
and
mean.
we know how much you love the queue.
Yeah, well, that's why it's number 2.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, I love the ride itself. I think is fantastic, but the queue for me is so just ho hum that I'm like
Underwhelming.
It is underwhelming. That's a great way to describe it. I am underwhelmed in the queue.
See, and I know I said it. I'm the opposite. I think it's a really good queue. I don't think it's great, but I think it's really good.
If you're gonna do something like on the indoors, the indoor queue part, right? There were many, many different directions that they could have gone. I get that we saw the backside of Hagrid's hut. However, you could have turned the inside of that queue to the inside of Hagrid's hut, and we could have been just like
But they did. There are rooms that are that.
Yes, but it's not like that. That's not how it feels. I know that.
How are you going to get thousands of people inside of Hagrid's hut through a queue?
Make it a big hut.
It's a really huge hut.
It's a huge hut. It's
he's a
Jabba
giant.
the Hutt.
He is a giant. Okay, listen, I do get. Listen, don't misunderstand me. I don't think it's a great queue. I don't.
Listen.
but I think it's good.
I don't design the queues. I just pick them apart.
Okay.
That's what
Got
it
it.
all boils down to. I know what I
Player.
like. I don't know how to design them.
I didn't hear you, Ryan. What did you say?
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's
Yeah.
right. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay, so Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure is number 2 for you. Do you have an honorable mention?
I have a couple of honorable mentions.
Oh, we've got 2.
However, I think everything that we're looking at right now is really centered on rides and not
So what are they? That's
necessarily
all right. Doesn't matter.
attractions, right?
No, it's attraction. So whatever you want.
Okay, so I've got a few then. First one is Pteranodon flyers. And I love Pteranodon flyers. It is really annoying to me that I cannot ride Pteranodon flyers. However, one of the greatest joys of my time at Islands is when I walk up to them and I tell them that I would like to ride, and they tell me, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're just too tall." It's wonderful. It is the best feeling in the world. I'm like, "I'm sorry, could you say that again? Say it louder.
Say it so my husband
Feels
can
so
hear
good.
you.
Yeah, right? Can we take a picture of you saying this to me or video
Right,
us, right? So I love that. But I again, it's kind of like the Seuss Trolley where you can see a lot.
It's an exceptional attraction.
It's so cool. You
It's
can
short.
see the park, and it is short.
It's not long lasting.
It's
but
short and sweet and to the point.
Well, me and Gabby have come up with a really, really good plan in the future when we have our kids.
Rent a
We're
kid?
gonna, tape a sign around their neck and say, child rental for the Pteranodon
Yes!
flyers.
Somebody can make a killing
And,
with that.
yeah, we'll make some quick cash. So you get $5 a ride.
Yeah.
We'll be rich by the end of the day.
Yes, you would. You
Gotta
would.
make money.
It'll pay for your
right.
tickets or
All
pay
right.
for your parking.
And another honorable mention.
Okay, I can't go without saying Olivanders. I
Oh,
love
okay.
that wand experience. I like walking in
Yeah.
there and just, it's not like you're walking into just any other little shop. You really,
it's amazing.
You're immediately immersed in Olivanders. I'm
Yes.
like, oh wow, look at all the boxes of wands on the wall, and it just feels very antiquated, and it's fantastic.
I don't think anybody would have a problem with that being even in a top 5, much less an honorable mention. I like when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I absolutely. So your two honorable mentions are Pteranodon Flyers and the Olivanders wand experience.
Yes.
Hey, number 1.
All right, so what's number 1?
Number 1, forever number 1. Until maybe I ride, the Velocicoaster, but we'll have to see because I don't think this queue could ever be bested, but we'll see. We'll just throw that out there. So for me, it's Forbidden Journey.
No kidding.
Love Forbidden Journey.
Yeah.
However, I have to preface that with I love all things Harry Potter.
You do.
I just do. I really do. I love the stories and love the books, love the movies.
And yet you're wearing an ET shirt.
Yet I am wearing an ET shirt. I know. Wow, what kind of slacker am I? Well, I wore my Ravenclaw sweatshirt last time.
did.
That's
You
right.
did.
That's right. So the queue, I could stay in that queue all day.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need is just to hang out in the queue and take everything in and watch the paintings that talk, and even out to where they have a Professor Sprout's area.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The outside queue is excellent.
It's fantastic. And then when you come back in and you walk through and you see all of like the house points and Dumbledore's office, the entry to his office is fantastic. The tapestry on the wall.
You guys
the
realize that
wallpaper.
in both of you, in talking about this, you've talked far more about the queue than the actual attraction itself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Better than the attraction.
I agree. I think the queue is better than the attraction.
I agree with that. I mean,
and the attraction's great.
The attraction's fantastic. It's fantastic. Say,
You know something that I wish they would do in Forbidden Journey? I wish they would do something like they do at Disney, where they'll set you up in a room. I mean, obviously it would be expensive, but it would be so cool if you pay X amount of dollars and spend the night at Hogwarts Castle.
In the castle?
So cool.
Oh my word!
That's what they do at Disney. You could stay the night in Cinderella's room.
Cinderella's castle,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so you can stay there, and it's awesome. I mean, it's expensive, but it's a really cool thing to,
It's a once in a
be able to
lifetime
do
kind of a
that's
thing,
for it.
you know.
But it would be so cool. I mean, imagine, you paid for one night, you could go stay in Gryffindor's dormitories.
Well, I wonder. I've wondered why they don't do that with a hotel. I mean, get Lowe's to create a universal hotel that's themed around Hogwarts. Why? I mean, how hard would that be?
I don't think it's that simple because I think J.K. Rowling has a really tight rein on what can and cannot happen with that. So I think it would take a lot of dreaming and planning.
I think she's
with her
made
involved.
bazillions
Yeah.
from Universal Studios in these lands. So
Yeah.
I still think it's in her best interest to approve something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But good old quality control.
For sure. All right, so your top five: Dr. Seuss High in the Sky, Seuss Trolley, The Incredible Hulk roller coaster number 4, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man 3, Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventures 2, two honorable mentions: Pteranodon Flyers and Ollivander's Wand Experience.
Yes.
And then number 1 is The Forbidden Journey.
The Forbidden Journey.
All right, and
Yes.
I think an excellent top 5. I don't have a problem with any of that.
And it's funny because I vacillated between Forbidden Journey and Hagrid for the longest time. I was going back and forth and back and forth. I mean, but Forbidden Journey, I just can't.
It's amazing.
I can't imagine anything taking its place yet.
If you've never
Not
missed
yet.
it, it's a once in a lifetime experience. And what I mean by that is you can do it more than once. Once you do that, you're like, where's this been all my life?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Every
I gotta do it
attraction
again.
should be like this one.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
really is like that.
It should be the model.
All right. So thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you guys for doing it. Thank you guys for all the love as we continue to grow and try to get this good content to you. Thanks for everything. Remember, go bless somebody else today. Go do something amazing for somebody else. Let it cost you something. And don't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
And watch the awesome, amazing, unbelievable things that happen in your life. We'll see you.